My coworker ordered TWO meals, then tried to make me pay. Was I wrong for making her cover it? Okay, this happened at work the other day, and now some of my coworkers are acting like I did something wrong. A group of us decided to order takeout for lunch. We each placed our own orders on the app and agreed to Venmo one person so we wouldn't have to do multiple transactions at pickup. I volunteered to pick up the food. When I got to the restaurant, the total seemed way higher than expected. I checked the receipt and saw that one coworker, Sarah, had ordered 2 full meals instead of 1. Thinking it was a mistake, I texted her to double check. She responded with, "Oops, just grab both. I'll eat the extra later." Thanks. At that point, I was already at the counter and the line was long, so I just paid to avoid holding things up. When I got back, I told Sarah her total, including the extra meal. She laughed and said, "Oh, I thought you were covering it since you picked it up." I told her that wasn't the deal, and she got all huffy, saying I was being petty over just a few bucks. I stood my ground, and she eventually paid me, but now a few coworkers are saying I overreacted. Am I wrong for making her pay for both meals?
Was he being petty over a few bucks? Or was his coworker trying to take advantage? A most intriguing case indeed. As the judge, I shall weigh the evidence and render my verdict. First, let's examine the facts. You, the plaintiff, volunteered to pick up the food, and a group of coworkers agreed to Venmo one person to avoid multiple transactions. You checked the receipt and discovered that Sarah, the defendant, had ordered 2 full meals instead of 1. You texted her to double-check, and she responded with a clear indication that she intended to have you pick up both meals. However, when you got to the counter, you paid for both meals without discussing it with Sarah further. Upon returning, you informed Sarah of the total, including the extra meal, and she claimed she thought you were covering it since you picked it up. Now let's consider the law. In this case, the law is quite simple. You and Sarah had a clear agreement to Venmo one person for the total cost of the meals. When Sarah ordered 2 full meals, she effectively increased the total cost of the group's order. By paying for both meals without discussing it with Sarah, you essentially took on the responsibility of covering the extra cost. In my opinion, you were not wrong for making Sarah pay for both meals. You stood by the original agreement, and Sarah's claim that she thought you were covering it because you picked it up is not a valid excuse. Her response to your text message clearly indicated that she intended to have you pick up both meals, but she did not explicitly state that you should cover the extra cost. Furthermore, Sarah's claim that you were being petty over just a few bucks is not a valid defense. As the person who picked up the food, you had every right to expect that the group would stick to the original agreement. Therefore, I hereby render my verdict. You, the plaintiff, are not wrong for making Sarah pay for both meals. Your actions were in line with the original agreement, and Sarah's behavior was not justified.